What about our sun? Let's not forget the largest and most important member of the solar system. Several space probes have been sent into orbit to study our sun. Some of the Pioneer series did so in the 1960s. Two Helios probes measured the solar wind in the mid 1970s. The Solar Maximum mission observed solar flares in the 1980s and was repaired in space when the shuttle crew repaired, and released it in 1984. The corona is the outermost and thinnest part of the sun's atmosphere. It is sometimes visible during a solar eclipse. The solar wind is a stream of charged particles coming from the corona. Ulysses, launched in 1990, was the first spacecraft to travel in orbit nearly perpendicular, vertical to the elliptical plane. No human-made vehicle could produce the power to break out of the ecliptic plane on its own, so Ulysses relied on mighty Jupiter's gravity to hurl it above that level. During its 18-year mission, it was able to fly over the sun's north and south poles, which had never been observed or measured. In scientific detail before. SOHO is a solar heliospheric observatory launched in December 1995. SOHO was sent to study the nature of the sun's coronas and inner structure, as well as detect the solar wind. During its mission, SOHO discovered more than 50 sun-grazing comets and made movies of coronal mass ejections, which produce dangerous radiation that can cause communication blackouts on Earth. SOHO continues to operate and is still returning data after more than 20 years in space. Launched in late 2001, NASA's Genesis mission was designed to collect particles of solar wind to return to Earth for study. After taking up station at the Sun-Earth L2 point that same year, it spent the next 28 months in collection mode, using collector arrays of different materials as well as bulk collective. The probe then used its ion engines to maneuver into low energy trajectory that swung it by the moon and back to Earth, where it crashed in the Utah desert in 2004. The scientists were able to recover some of the arrays relatively intact and have been analyzing them since. STEREO, or Solar Terrestrial Relations Observatory, was launched in October 2006 to study coronal mass ejections. It consists of two observatories, one of which is ahead of Earth in its orbit and the other behind. NASA launched the Solar Dynamics Observatory in early 2010 to geostationary orbit, where it collects data on our sun with a focus on the magnetic fields and how they affect space weather.